everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett. Steve, how you doing today?
Doing okay, man. How are you? How's it going over there, Matt?
I'm good. I really, though, I want to bring something to your attention. We had some comments on one of our previous videos about the Second Amendment. Some people were upset that we made the claim that a group of Texans with firearms would not be able to withstand a Predator missile. Yeah, so, we take that kind of criticism pretty seriously here on the show. We like to do our due diligence. So I did a little bit of research, and I found out that a Patriot missile can destroy about a quarter of Texas, which leads me to believe we were correct. So, fact-checking over.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever a claim. I think it was the truth, just like everything we say on this show. So, thanks for your comments, your likes, your dislikes, but shut up.
It's a comedy podcast, okay?
Yeah, relax, everybody. Like, just just chill out.
Maybe it's our fault. It wasn't funny enough where they knew it was a joke and they felt that we were putting out serious information. Our discussion of every home in the U.S. needing their own key to the ignition for the nuclear launch codes, that was something that a lot of people thought, I could see that happening. And they had to comment and let us know that that's dumb. So thank you all.
Yeah, thanks. I think we're in a sad state where our brand of irony is seen as very indistinguishable from the current topics of discussion in our news media, but whatever. Like, also, if you have the time to like or dislike something, I think you need to reevaluate your life and your hobbies, but also keep subscribing.
I think the best way to reevaluate your life and hobbies is by liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel so that we can tell you more about yourself that you probably didn't know. Like this, you may not know that you having a gun is not going to stop a SWAT team from taking you hostage to a military tribunal underwater where Bill Gates will inject you with the vaccine. You cannot stop that.
Would it be more helpful if instead of Patriot missile was a Tomahawk missile? Like, what do you want, people?
Yeah, I went on militaryfactory.com and I tried to compare arms. So I got an AR-15. The closest thing I could find was an RPG, and not good for you if you are on the other end of the RPG. Not good. Not good at
all. Everybody needs to play some Call of Duty.
I think everyone's a little stressed out. They've been locked in their house a little too long. I think that, we're going to need that vaccine. What do you think life's going to be like after the vaccine?
There are some things that I kind of miss, like seeing other people and interacting in person and just grabbing a beer, inside. But at the same time, there's some things that I really am not going to miss, like kicking some old lady into the head, trying to get onto the L train to get to work. I'm really not going to miss that. There's some other things that I'm not going to miss, like, mass shootings, which are pretty down since Obama left office. I want to tell you that. So, I'm not saying anything, but I am saying something.
Yeah, I think I personally enjoyed kicking old ladies on the L. Many of them deserve it. They're all smug. Oh yeah, look at me. I'm old and I can still live in the city. Go to hell. You'll probably be there soon. You are very old.
There are going to be no old ladies on the L after this.
No, there won't be, because they're all going to get COVID.
Yep.
Yeah. Are you going to take the vaccine?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of hesitant. I hear a lot of people saying, well, I'm just going to see how everybody else does before I take it, which is kind of stupid, because it's like if everybody said that, nobody would take it. But, I feel like as long as I feel like it can be trusted, I'll take it.
I'll take it. I don't care.
Okay, wow.
I'm going to take all of them and review them on the channel.
Are all of your friends going to take it too, like everyone you know?
No, just me. I'm going to do the Russia one this week. In a couple weeks, I'll do the China one. Who cares? I'll just figure them out. I'll try them all out. I'll review them. I'm sure they're all good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's like a luxury vaccine that I can get that has like a leather, syringe or something.
A leather syringe?
I don't know.
I heard that Obama was going to take it. Is that right?
Yeah, I actually have an article about that. I was going to talk about it too. So, CNBC article. Obama will take coronavirus vaccine and might film it to build confidence. That is going to do the exact opposite of build confidence. This is going to be the new conspiracy theory. This video is going to be the 21st century moon landing video. People are going to be zooming in on this video for years and being like, look, freeze frame, look at that. If you see, that's not a real needle. A real needle, when it pushes against your skin, it's going to be awful. They're going to freeze frame it like crazy. People are going to be like, that's a real needle, but it's a fake vaccine. Or, the most common will probably be, so it was a real vaccine, it was a real needle, but it can't hurt Obama because he is not a mere mortal. He is the Antichrist.
And he wasn't born in the United States.
Right. I hope he takes it live on TV and people gather to watch it like a Mike Tyson fight.
I think people are going to be like, oh, it didn't hurt him because he already had autism.
Yeah, I think it's going to double mine down.
I don't know what I want to know? If they're gonna air it at the same time as the Mike Tyson fight.
That already happened, but I think
already
that
happened?
Yeah, it did. Or maybe there's
I
another one coming up. I'm not sure. I watched that the Logan Paul fight versus the other guy. They barely even got to say that guy's name before the fight was over. He was out.
I want to see Mike Tyson versus one of the Logan brothers. Or one of the Paul brothers.
I would like to see both of them against him. I don't...
One against each arm.
Yeah, I'm sure he could do it. He's a total killer.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I'd be very scared to fight him.
Yeah, he's really big into weed, too. He loves smoking weed now.
Is that right?
Yeah, Tyson's got his own brand. He's got a farm. He grows weed. He loves weed, which is kind of funny because weed kind of makes you more of like a hippie. You kind of like people more, a little nicer, more patient. But then this guy has to turn all of that off, go into the ring, and have his mind focused on, I gotta kill this guy.
Yeah, I can't imagine like a stoner would be a very good fighter. You know what I mean? Like, think of all the people in high school who were just blazed all day in class and just kind of reeked of it. Maybe those were the people that got into fights, but they definitely weren't the people who won them. I think the people that won them were those popular kids in school that I just hated,
In my school, it was just stoner kids fighting each other. The kid whose parents let us drink at the house or whatever it is, it's that kind of kid's parents that's the kid who's fighting. It's kind of sad that a lot of those stoner kids I know kind of peaked in high school.
Yeah, I feel that. I know a lot of kids that peaked in high school, and it was always those kids that, they sat at the popular table, they wore Abercrombie and Fitch, there goes another sponsor, and, Aeropostale and American Eagle, and all these, stupid brands with the ripped jeans, and, they were just kind of dead behind the eyes. It actually makes me feel a lot better when I go on Facebook and I find one of them, and her name's Tammy, and I knew her 10 years ago or whatever, and she's just gained 10 pounds. She has 2 kids, or not 10 pounds, sorry, multiple pounds, 50 pounds, and she has 2 kids, and she just still has that dead look behind her eyes, but now it just makes more sense. I don't know if that's the experience you have, but I really hated those people, and I'm kind of glad they peaked.
Were these jocks, or were they?
Oh yeah, kids? For sure, man.
Okay. So in my high school, jocks were not that popular. People didn't really like the jocks. They were kind of jerks. Everybody loved the theater kids. Everybody loved, if you were some mediocre-looking white kid, some dude, and you had an acoustic guitar and you could, sing a couple songs, that was what everyone wanted. That was the popular kid. The singing, the choir people, those were who were popular, and I have to tell you, I hate singing so much. I cannot stand it when someone tries to belt out a good tune and be all, oh, I can sing, I'm so great. Screw you. I don't care. Stop showing off. You really think your voice is so great that I need to sit in silence and listen to you and then clap afterwards? No. Put it on a podcast so it can be ignored.
So what's your take? If you were best friends with Mariah Carey and she just started singing every now and again, would that make you mad?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But she's renowned as one of the best singers.
I even like one of her songs, and I'd be annoyed if she sang it all the time.
Do you think...
Do you like any of her songs?
Oh, sure. I like a few of them. I love that Christmas one that, always comes on around this time of year. But do you think that...
Well, hold on.
Okay.
I like Why Are You So Obsessed With Me? That's a great song.
Yeah.
It's a great song. And the best part about it is in the video, she dresses up as Eminem. Mm-hmm. And that's to me why it's amazing. She's not only talented in singing, but she's also an immaculate shit talker. That video is incredible. She's beefing with the best of them. She's beefing with Shady.
Nobody fucks with Shady.
That's probably the most suburban way to say, she's beefing with Shady. I might as well have said that on my way to Temple. She's beefing with Shady. I want to get some pastrami after this.
The local deli in Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's a question. Do you think that these kind of super famous, well-known celebrities, do you think they listen to themselves? Like, they're playing their song, their Christmas song on repeat? Or do you think, like, Nicolas Cage is watching Con Air all the time?
I think that it probably depends on, like, how obsessed they are with themselves. I bet Kanye West is listening to Kanye West in his home. But
I think he's reading Immanuel Kant just all day.
He's actually big into Kant, yeah. He's more, I think that, he strikes me as more Hegelian, frankly, but...
He's like, Kim, come here. Come here. I'm just starting this Michel Foucault.
Kim, I want to tell you about the proletariat. Kim, your bourgeois ass, I cannot deal with you right now. Can you come over here? I'm trying to tell you about the I'm from Chicago.
Das Kapital is going to be his next album.
Das Kapital, it's him on a pile of money as the album cover. He's got Marx in a guillotine.
Right. I don't think he peaked in high school. I think he's still peaking, to be honest.
He's on the way, if he becomes president.
Do you know any other people in high school that peaked, or you had a fond memory of that just didn't make it?
I mean, pretty much all of them peaked. I can't think of any of them that are doing anything right now that I think is cool. Pretty much everyone just became a software engineer from a boot camp. Everyone you went to high school with, they all were like, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to study art direction. I'm going to study business. I'm going to do that. And no, you're not doing political science. You're not doing art history. You went and got a boot camp degree, or whatever they call it, a boot camp certificate in Python in a week. You don't even know what object-oriented programming is, but you're a software developer. That's what everybody is now.
At Epic.
Yeah, exactly. They're all at Epic in Wisconsin. But
That's the mecca of software, people in the Midwest.
Even a guy I know from high school who, he kind of peaked in high school. He went to Harvard, and he works at, like, some crappy nonprofit in New York. You know why? He can't code. He's like a week away, probably, from just signing up for a Northwestern boot camp and learning data science.
Has he not tried Code Academy? What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, I think a lot of people kind of peaked in high school and then just went to college and thought, being artsy in high school was so good for me. I'm going to go be artsy in college. I'm going to create a writing degree. I'm going to do English. And then I'm going to try to get journalism was another one. What a field at this point, right? Journalism? Huh? Horrifying.
Yeah, that's a tough sell right now. The last person I would ever be is a journalist. I feel like no matter what you write, half the people that read it are going to love it, and half the people are going to hate it unless it's like, these are the best deals on Black Friday you need to be aware of.
Right.
And is that journalism? I don't think so.
It's closer than a lot of what we read nowadays. Like Judith Miller at New York Times getting us into war in Iraq with some BS conjecture about weapons of mass destruction. Do you think she peaked in high school?
I think she peaked when everybody read that story.
Yeah.
And then it was a very quick decline.
She peaked when the end of that quid pro quo from Cheney came in.
Cheney's like, we're done here.
10,000 contracts of Halliburton options.
It was like that scene at right. It was like that scene at the end of The Godfather Part 1 where the door closes on Michael Corleone, right? And what's her face is just cut out. It was exactly like that. She's like, "Wait, I want to." Oh, that's it.
Cheney said to her, "Hey, write the article. I'll get your daughter an internship at Raytheon. They're looking for more women engineers."
She can develop the next missile.
I like how those websites, those companies are all doing that, like, fake woke stuff. Even the weapons manufacturers, Lockheed Martin is like, we're showing women in third world countries about chemistry, firsthand, up close and personal, in their homes. Oh, man. I think a lot of people peaked in high school, though. Even Harvard guy. Actually, speaking of high school people, have I ever told you about my friend's cousin Paul, who became a faith healer in Africa?
I would remember this.
Okay, so this guy, he was like a 5'8", 6-foot ginger. It's like 250 pounds, and he was never really smart, okay? But he didn't realize that he wasn't smart. He thought that he was smarter than us, and he would try to always talk down to us, but he didn't know what he was talking about. So it led to a lot of weird situations where this one time he was talking to us about some calculator that he had, and he says, oh yeah, this calculator I have, you can just type in these crazy chemistry equations right into it. And my friend, who is his cousin, he leans over to us, he goes, stoichiometry. So it's just not... He was just kind of he was a total Dunning-Kruger, you know. He didn't get how much he didn't know. We would smoke weed with him sometimes when he would come by, and there was one time we were smoking weed with him, and we passed him the joint, and he started spinning his arm around like a windmill holding the joint, and then that's blowing all this air into it, so it's burning down the joint, and now it's going to last like half as long, and we're like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it gets you higher. So he wasn't, you know, exactly super intelligent, and he was really into God as well, okay? He went on a few mission trips to Africa and became a faith healer.
What does that even mean, a faith healer?
It means that if you're sick, he puts his hand on your head and he goes, "Shabalaboko-sha," and he cures you.
Wow.
So that's, yeah, faith healing is, you know, he does ceremonies. It's kind of like an exorcism, but for any disease, I guess.
For anybody that doesn't have an actual degree in medicine.
Yeah. So he met a shaman while in Africa, and he was on this mission trip. He meets a shaman in a remote village in Africa. He's this 5'10", he's this tall, fat, ginger kid from suburbs of Chicago, and this shaman decides, this is my guy.
Of course.
He sees something in him, okay, and he says he's going to take him under his wing and make him an even more powerful faith healer.
Wow, that's quite the honor.
So he's telling us this while we're on mushrooms, and he's also on mushrooms, so we think he's totally full of crap, right? And then my friend reminds me, he didn't take any mushrooms. And so I'm losing it laughing at this guy. And he's telling us about all this stuff he did. He's like, I reattached arms to people. I reattached limbs. I have, I've cured people from being in a wheelchair. He's talking about all this stuff he's done. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on down there where they're tricking him? This must be like David Copperfield is down there trying to fool him. So then we're laughing our asses off, and he tells us, oh yeah, well, you just watch. Next week, I'm going to bring someone back from the dead. And he tells us, he's like, I'm going back to Africa. I'm going to bring someone back from the dead. So I am uncontrollably laughing at this, and I cannot wait to hear how it goes. So he then comes back a few weeks later and is telling us about this faith healing and all of this. And we asked him, how did it go bringing a guy back from the dead? And he says, well, I tried, but then as I was doing it, I heard God talk to me and say, this man is in good hands. He needs to stay with me. You cannot bring him back to life. I won't allow it. So can you imagine that you're the husband or you're the wife or the child of this dead person who some fat redhead from Chicago told you, oh, I'm going to bring him back to life. And then he's in there, in the room, whatever, the hut, I don't know, with the body, and he comes out and goes, you know what? God wants him dead. What is that conversation like? Yeah, you know, he must have done something real bad. God really wants him up there. And so I also want to know, how long did he spend with the body before he gave up? Like 10 minutes, an hour?
Yeah, what's the appropriate amount of time for the family to be like, oh, you know what, he gave it his all.
Yeah, so the best part about this, though, is that he's telling us this as if it's proof that we should believe him, that he can faith heal. He's saying, yeah, I know, but God talked to me, so, you know. No, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, he's kind of an amazing character. I love the faith healing cousin. Bringing him back from the dead.
Yeah, people will believe whatever it takes, to make themselves feel better. Imagine a scenario where that guy had actually gone to Africa and brought the dude back to life. And then he tries to explain it to you by saying, you know what? God wants him dead, and shoots him. It's like...
He brings him back just to prove he can do it.
Right, exactly.
He made a deal with God, and he says, hey, God... I got to bring this guy back just to prove it to my friends, and then I'll kill him. And God goes, okay.
Well, I think we would all believe that dude that was dead was definitely not actually dead, right?
Right.
It's like
right.
There are some things that just can't happen. So I don't know if this faith healer is is that his career? Is he like on Facebook, 250-pound, like 6-foot ginger redhead / faith healer doing talking tours, or how does he make money? Like how does he keep going to Africa? I don't get it.
I haven't checked in with him. I assume that he's probably working with that doctor lady that Trump had on who said that she cures COVID all the time in her strip mall. I'm sure she is working with that guy.
Yeah, that's a crack team they've got there. Maybe they should add this ginger.
I want to know, has this shaman ever brought anyone back to life? Is there anyone in the village going, oh yeah, I was dead for a couple weeks and then that shaman fixed me right up?
And now I want to kind of be dead again. It was a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I want to know, is there a peer-reviewed study of his success rate on bringing people back?
I think that if you get brought back from the dead, how confused would you be? I'd imagine that your ghost is there watching your body the whole time, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? What do you... Stop! No! You fade back into life. And then
you see the pearly gates of heaven, and you're like, I'm so close. And then they pull you back. They grab your feet, and they pull you back to earth.
You get back from heaven, and then you're in some remote village in Africa, like, yeah, no, definitely, this is great. I really wanted this. Being in heaven
Talking to this asshole?
Yeah, being in heaven was super lame. I definitely wanted to come back to life and have a sweaty 250-pound ginger guy breathing over me.
I feel that if I were ever brought back to life right after dying, I'd immediately try to kill myself. I'd be like, no, you don't understand. This place sucks!
No. This is you're dead longer than you're alive, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll probably die from weather, climate change, right? Unless China helps us, What
do you mean?
They're beefing up weather modification.
What?
Yeah, article, news.trust.org. China vows to beef up weather modification capabilities.
What the fuck does that mean?
They can control the weather. They can make it rain. They can make it arid. They can make it more or less temperate. We've had weather control the U.S. has had weather control for a while. You can see some articles about it. I'll put a note here to put that in the description.
What does that mean, weather control? Like, you can literally make it rain when you want to? Like, we're in a dome?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, let me just Google it real quick. So here's an article from, I hope this is a credible source. It's foia.cia.gov, weather modification.
That seems pretty credible.
Yeah, maybe. For your information, some attachments are provided which show the extent of interest and trends in weather modification research in the United States. For example, federal support for 1967 will be 4 times that of 1963, over twice as large as 65. So they're saying that back to the 60s, they were like, yeah, we should figure out how to control weather. I support it. So yeah, they've been doing it. I mean, I can link this in the description, but it'll probably get us, deranked from the algorithm. I'll put a space in it. No one will know.
Perfect.
But yeah, that's they're doing it. I like how the conspiracy world is simultaneously of the opinion that climate change is a hoax, but did you know every government can control the weather? Seems it can be man-made. If we control enough of the weather, that's the climate. You see?
I mean, these are the same people looking at Obama and being like, he already had autism, the vaccine doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's like that. It doesn't matter to them. They could, whatever you say, these are, there's no convincing these people from their thoughts.
No,
Unless
there's
you
not.
have Tucker Carlson.
He can get them to believe anything, can't he?
Yeah. He could sell sweatshirts like AOC.
Tax the rich. He could sell them. He could sell them ironically for twice the price, and people living in trailer homes would buy it to own the libs.
So, that's a good point. So, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, AOC is selling an exorbitantly priced sweatshirt saying "tax the rich," which is, I mean, you can almost taste the irony, right?
I mean, I kind of like her. She's fine, but I don't know where she thought this would be a good idea. No one stepped in and said, hey, by the way, this is a little tone deaf right now. You're telling everybody how nobody has a job, nobody has food, they're going to be evicted, and you're also saying, but sweatshirt's $60, have it. It's an eighth of weed. You can do it. Come on. They're all made in the U.S., though. And that's why they're so expensive. It's made by a company that just makes apparel for democratic causes, and so they make it here, and that makes it pretty expensive. But I mean, honestly, it's not that much more expensive than sweatshirts for a lot of merch. Sweatshirts are up to $45-50 nowadays.
That's insane, man.
It's nuts.
It really does make you think, though, that all of these people who say, oh, we need to bring back American manufacturing, we need to bring back jobs in the U.S., in the Rust Belt, it's like they don't understand how much fucking cheaper it is to make things in China and how many people take advantage of that. Nobody wants their Nike shoes made in Ohio. It'd be like $400.
Right. And you wouldn't want to wear them. You wouldn't want to wear them because some guy you went to high school with who's addicted to opioids sewed the tongue on. They don't let the kids in China get away with that. They hit them on the wrist with stuff. I'm sure that those children are very fearful that if they do not make Kanye's Nikes correctly, he will come down on them. He will have Kim Kardashian's ass squash them to death.
Yeah, and that's why we should all shop local.
Yeah, I thought that the shirt "Tax the Rich" was a little tone deaf. I thought, what's next? Are we getting an end child trafficking shirt from Ghislaine Maxwell?
Isn't that the person associated with Epstein?
Yeah, she was the one who corralled the children for Epstein.
Oh,
allegedly.
Wow, that's super fucked up.
Yeah,
allegedly.
It's really messed up. It's really messed up.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, they were not shopping local. They were trafficking those kids all around the world.
Yeah, and guess what those kids were wearing? Nikes.
That's how they ran so fast. I don't know. We talked a lot about Epstein's entire business model on the last episode, so please go back and watch that if you think that's funny.
Please comment.
Yeah, please comment. If you know any children who've been trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell, we'd love to have them on the podcast.
Yeah, that'd be super interesting for us. Or if you know anyone who's faced off against a Patriot missile while holding an AR-15 and won out, we'd like to hear that too.
We would love to hear that. If you do know any kids who were trafficked by Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein, why do you know them? It's a little sketchy. We won't tell. Just send them our way.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
I guess the only thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was how, I guess it's kind of related to this AOC thing where these politicians they say one thing, they do another, and it's lying in politics is so essential to politics, right? But it's totally unlike any other business or any other work or anything else. Because it's a job for these people. They're making money off it. They're selling $60 t-shirts, okay? And I think the thing about lying in politics is that if you lie in any other workplace, you're gone. You're fired. If I lie at my job, I'm probably going to get fired. But the company themselves, they lie to the customers constantly. Every company is constantly lying to the customers. So we have this thing where you have to lie the right way for the company. That lying, good. Lying to the company about yourself, bad. If you say, oh, I was sick, and then, they find pictures of you arming child soldiers in Fallujah on your weekend off, that's a problem. You lied. That's the problem, is the lying. I can stand a little bit of radical politics, but I can't deal with someone I can't trust, okay? And I think my real problem with the politicians lying is that they're not even good at it. Companies are good at lying, Okay? Politicians are bad at it. A politician will be like, they'll be getting questioned, and they'll be like, so, we saw you at dinner, and we've contact traced everyone at the dinner. 15 people are dead. How do you respond to that? I wasn't at dinner. What? Yes, you were. We saw you. I wasn't at dinner. Those people, I've never met them in my life. They're just so bad at lying. It's the worst part of it. I'm going to say, if you're going to lie, be good about it.
I think companies will lie about everything, right? It's like, oh, the chances of anal leakage as a side effect are actually very low. No, they're not. Or, there's no lead in those toys. Or we treat our employees humanely in China. It's
right.
ridiculous. Like, it's all lying. We all just kind of buy it. But I agree that a lot of politicians have just kind of dropped the entire pretense, right? It's the idea of, I can say whatever I want. There are going to be people that agree with me so fervently that they will comment on, even a video of ours and say that,
yeah,
that the Patriot missile is bullshit. So right. I don't know. You just can't convince those people. You really can't.
Right. And I think part of it is that they lie because they're saying what they think people want to hear. And they, you've heard the phrase political suicide. If you don't go with the lie, it's easier to look like an idiot and lie to the people who don't support you than to try to come up with a good lie for the people who do.
Yeah, I really hope Kanye's next album on Philosophizers is going to be getting at the heart of this issue of truth.
I'm sure that it will. I feel that, his reading list is quite extensive. Have you actually ever read his political policies?
No, when he ran for president?
Oh,
I missed that.
Yeah, let me see if I
good?
can find his website here. Kanye West, election page. Kanye2020.country, of course. Okay, so...
.country? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Is that new?
No, I think it's a new TLD. So, by the way, he's selling a $160 sweatshirt that is made in China. So let's...
At least he's honest.
See. Where are his policies? Okay, great. Here are the policies. So I want to just give the structure to this website. So the structure of the website is there's a letter that says, Dear Future, because he's talking to the future here. Not now. This is for the future. You wouldn't get it. Then there's a bunch of videos of him. There's a link to his 4-hour Joe Rogan podcast. Then there are, it looks like 6 or 7 pieces of merch here. And once we've got through that, we can start looking at his political policies. So his first political platform, number 1, is restore faith and revive our constitutional commitment to freedom of religion and the free exercise of one's faith, demonstrated by restoring prayer in the classroom, including spiritual foundations. And then he has a Bible quote. Every single one of these is all caps, lunacy, and then a Bible quote. So can we just break this down, though? So he's going to restore our constitutional commitment to freedom of religion by forcing prayer in classrooms?
I don't get this, but I'm really glad that every all-caps declaration or platform that he has is backed up by a Bible quote. Like, it'd be one thing if it weren't, and I'd be like, this guy's crazy, but now I'm like, oh, it totally makes sense.
He said that that's his source, is the Bible.
Do you think this Bible quote, is this an APA?
It looks to be Chicago.
Where's the citation?
The Bible is one of the only books you can quote without citing it correctly. You just say Psalms 10:5 or whatever it is. Psalms 4:20.
Tim 7-Eleven, right?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a donate to, YE 2020, and it goes. Here's the increments: $20, $100, $200, $500, $1,000, and then $2,800. What the fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah, why doesn't it go higher? Let me write in my own amount.
Yeah, $1 billion.
And also, just to clarify, the YE is ye. It's ye, like Yeezy, Kanye.
Really? Damn it, Steve!
Yeah, Steve. I thought I was supposed to be the white guy here. I think there's only one other thing that I wanted to sort of talk about before we head out of here. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is I've been watching Breaking Bad on Netflix. And one of the things that pops up, I'm on season 3, and it gave me a pop-up that said, "Do you like Breaking Bad?" No, I'm doing research to start a meth lab. Yeah, I like it. I'm on the 3rd season.
Yeah, I hate those ads where they advertise the television show that you're watching. Like, you're on Hulu and you're watching, I don't know, Rick and Morty or something, and they're like, hey, have you seen Rick and Morty? And they play an ad for, 30 seconds.
Right.
And you go, well, come on, who's in charge here? Come on, Team Hulu.
Yeah. Or like you're on, InfoWars, and it's like, hey, have you seen Prison Planet? Like, yeah, of course I have.
How do they know? You know what's the worst? When Google autocorrects the porn you're searching for?
That is the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're just like 3 black dudes and 1 white girl, and it goes like, did you mean 1 white girl because you said glur?
No, you know what I mean. Just show it to me.
Yeah, just shut up, Google. Damn, you're good.
Yeah. Another equivalent pop-up could be, I see that you're watching incest porn. Why don't you call your mom?
Why don't you talk to her for half an hour, you freak?
Yeah, talk to her for half an hour and tug it off, okay? Okay, perv? All right, everybody. Well, pending any other masturbatory recommendations from Steve, I think we're going to head out here.
Whatever, man.
All right, everybody. We're going to go both beat off to some incest porn. Thanks so much for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Just, have a great day,
Amen, brother. Yeah, call your moms. Thanks, everybody.